Hey guys, and welcome to the 22nd episode of Football Manager 2014 with Aston Villa. And I I know it's harsh, but I do think I will have to frustrate you for one more episode. I did say in the last episode I do know that I think I promised a live commentary. Also, with the last episode, I'm very sorry for the abrupt ending. I don't really know what happened there, but I somehow lost the last 30 seconds or something. You didn't really miss anything. It was just me rambling on about liking and commenting and subscribing, something like that. But didn't miss much. But as we haven't played this save kind of properly, so to speak, for 6 or 7 years now, due to the older season reviews, I am going to talk you through in this episode. It's going to be like a squad review episode where I look through the squad in detail, not in like in real detail, but just like look through and show you who's around these days, and any guys that you guys still might recognise. So firstly, actually I'll talk you through the transfers I made for this year, because I didn't go through that in the last episode. So on the outs, we just had Stephen DeFuss and Jed Orr, who were just two youngsters. This guy Akram Hadane, who wasn't actually a bad keeper, but we brought him for 190k from ES Setif quite a while ago, but never really got into the first team. And I'll actually scout him just to see. And just a load of youngsters on loan. So coming in though, we had Servet Keskin for 7.5 million from Barcelona. He's a defensive midfielder. We lacked a bit of depth in defensive midfield, and I think he's a really good addition to the squad. 23 caps for Turkey. 110 grand a week, which is a bit steep, I'm not going to lie, but I think he's well worth it in the end. For 7.5 million, which is a fairly small price. Also got in Jordi from Barcelona, this time on a loan deal. He's just a centre mid / attacking mid. Hasn't made a full cap for Spain yet, but I think he will in the future. He's just a nice little backup. He hasn't played that many games for us this year, but he's just a good backup for the team. And the same with Tony Molina Rios. Again, another backup. He is a Paraguayan international on loan from AS Monaco. Got some decent defender stats. He's not the best though, and he's just a nice little backup to have in the team. And the sort of formation I play these days, usually with this team, is kind of around this sort of a formation, a 5-3-2 with or whatever you want to call it. Really, is it actually a 2-3-2-1-2? You could say. Actually, I'll go through the team though. David Gutierrez, if you remember this guy, I brought him back a long time ago for 2 million quid from Los Angeles, and I think you guys knew at the time I was fairly cautious about it actually, spending that much on a youngster, but he's turned into an absolute fantastic keeper. He's a little inconsistent, maybe, a little inconsistent, I'm not going to lie, but he's wanted by two clubs. Who's he wanted by? Monaco and Schalke, so big teams are coming after him, and you can see why. 58 caps for USA at the age of 25, and he's a really solid keeper, and our number one by far. Defenders wise, we've got the likes of Thiago Casasolo, who's now 27 years old. Starts the game off with Boca, then went to Velez in my save, and then we picked him up for just 5.5 million, which I think was a really good deal for him. And he's had 3 seasons now where he's coming in on his 4th of really top quality play. 15 caps for Argentina, good player he is. Gonzalo Lemos, who was probably one of our biggest signings ever we made, for £20 million. He's wanted by a lot of teams: Dortmund, Juventus, Man City, Man United and Schalke, all tracking him. The Argentinian international, 58 caps for Argentina, and he's been fantastic for us since joining. John Lozano, same with him. A lot of teams tracking him. Chelsea and Bayern on his track, so very big teams. We only brought him in for 3.4 million. He's been a real stalwart at right back ever since. Linus Holgersson, he is our backup left wing back. He's just decent. He's a regen. Bought him in for pretty cheap. Servet Keskin, I just went through. Ricardo Ortega, you might remember this guy. I bought him. Did I buy him first or second season? Second season, probably for 5.25 million. He's just been around the team. He's never really been a first team regular, but he's a fantastic backup player to have. 53 caps for Mexico by now. Solid player. Yassine Houbain, probably one of my best bits of business on this save because he's an absolute stunning player. Arsenal, Monaco, Dortmund, Man U, Schalke, all chasing him. Bought him in for just 650k, a real steal, I feel, in that sense. Driussi, who I went through in the last episode, didn't I? Like, he is just a monster by now on this save. Only 16 caps for Argentina, though, which I find hard to believe. Bought him in for 1.6 million. He's now worth 31 million, which is just fascinating. Inia Fernix, probably the biggest signing biggest signing so far on this series, and probably the best player in the team at the moment, stats wise. He looks an absolute monster. I showed him in the last episode. He's done decent, not great, not like anything special. And same with Manolo Gabbiadini. I think I showed him last episode. 58 caps for Italy now. He's just banged in the goals fairly consistently for me since I brought him in, which is good to see. Got Villagra, who's our backup keeper, 26 years old, not too bad. Tony Molina Rios, who I went through. Anthony O'Rourke, who's a fantastic player, Irish international, which I love to see. 16 caps for them. I'm surprised he hasn't got more, considering he should be their best player. He's their 5th best, according to that. I find that hard to believe, to be honest. Like, who are these guys? Andrew McCourt, playing for Celtic. Like, he's not as good. Callum Riley, not as good as O'Rourke. But anyway, excellent player. And he usually actually plays in there. Valerio Gori, just a youngster, Italian. Jason Maria. Will Hughes, still around. Bought him first season, I think. He's still potting around. 45 caps for England now. Still doing a solid job for the team. Ethan Dye, Luca Criolesi. God, do you guys remember him? We brought him back. Way back. First season or so, yeah. And he's been a solid left back the last fair few seasons. Adama Kumari, who we bought in for around 4 million. He's a solid centre back by now. Mali international. Jamaica, Swingers. You don't need to see this shit, guys. Bidero. He's one of these excellent right wings. I've converted him into a centre mid, actually. But he can play kind of deep lying playmaker decently. Not too bad. 30 under 20 caps for Brazil, Dortmund, Bayern, Newcastle and Spurs all chasing him. And that's really it. You know, Geordie, we've gone through. Jez Jepson, don't really need to see. Under 21s wise, is there anyone floating around that's too good? Exodus Rogers, he's not too bad. Just a youngster. Oliver Lumley, again, not too bad. Under 18s, I suspect there's not much fishing around. No, not much fishing around. So that will conclude this episode. I know it was reasonably brief. Hopefully it was. But I do want to get back into the save. And the next episode will be a live commentary. Will be. I swear by it. Anyway, if you did enjoy this episode, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later. Bye.